Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Resident Culture Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This beer is called Skeleton Crew. The description on the can says hazy IPA hopped with Simcoe and Vic Secret. It is no secret, pun intended, that my favorite hop is Simcoe. Vic Secret to me has been really weird. I would not assume that a chalkiness in any type of IPA would be. I would assume it would be attributed to the yeast or the malt, but it seems like I get that more in IPAs with Vic Secret than other ones. So maybe it is something from the hops. I'm not sure. But this is 7.0 ABV, so it's a single IPA, not a double. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna crack it open and see what we got. I can smell it from here. So as you can see, it's very, very cloudy. Definitely almost like pineapple juice with about 2 fingers worth of really fluffy white head. Move that down there a little bit. Oh man, it smells so good. I will say, whether you like or not, I don't think many people hate them, but whether you love or like or indifferent to their beers when it comes to the flavor, it's really hard to argue how good their beers smell. All of their hoppy beers just are so flooded with hop aroma. It's insane. Sometimes it ends up being too much for some people on the palate. Too bitter, too oniony and green, but the aroma on this, at least on this one specifically, is just freaking off the charts. Tons of pineapple and orange, a little bit of an earthy, dank character. Almost like a little floral too. Trying to really pull all of the aromas together. I'm getting like some kiwi, which is odd. I don't usually get that from IPAs. And a little bit of like a bready malt character too. This is, I mean, this is actually really, really, like, you can see the malt base is actually really, really light. This is, especially for a 7%er. Oh, damn. So... it's so funny. I wonder if it's a canning thing or a temperature thing, because I will say they serve all of their beer very, very cold at the brewery. I understand it because some customers want that, and you know, you gotta go with the coldest temperature that's appropriate for the beer that deserves the coldest temperature, and then other things you can just let warm up. So, you know, it makes sense that they're serving stuff pretty cold, but it's funny, lately, I have IPAs at the brewery, and they're served so cold that you lose some complexity, and you just get more of like the stronger oniony, bitter. I mean, they're still juicy, but the bitterness and the plant material character from the hop come out stronger than they do when they're warmer. 'Cause this beer smells so juicy. And in my opinion, the flavor really follows the aroma, and it's just super super soft too. That's the other thing. The body is just super soft. It is a little like bready and grainy on the back end. This is definitely a lighter malt profile than most of their hoppy beers, which I don't know if that's, it all depends on what you prefer, but it is what it is. But the reason I brought this whole thing up is they were kind enough to sell me a keg of one of their beers, which they don't normally do to individual people, but they were hooking me up because I sent their beer to the Beerus podcast. Call It for the Beerus is a great podcast. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Or not watch it, sorry, it's only audio. You can listen to it, but so they basically said any of these 4 beers that we're releasing on this day, you can get a sixtel of one of them. So it was this beer, it was Whatever You Feel Just Dance It, which I already did a review for, a collab that they did with another brewery, which is another IPA, and Pills Don't Pay Bills, which is also another beer I did on here. And to be honest, if it was up to me, just me, I probably would have gotten Pills Don't Pay Bills, just because I love it, and it's significantly cheaper than the IPAs are. But I'm bringing it up to Pittsburgh to share with some friends, so I wanted to appeal to the masses. And some people don't appreciate Pilsners as much as I do, so I figured I had to get one of their IPAs. And I basically got all 3 of them when I was there last weekend to try them out to decide which one I wanted. And I wanted to get whatever the lowest ABV one was, so we could drink it longer throughout the day. I'm bringing it to a 4th of July party. And one was 7, the other one was 8. So the 8 one, unless it blew the other ones out of the water, excuse me, was kind of out of the picture. So it was basically between this and Whatever You Feel Just Dance It. And when I had both of them at the brewery, I liked both of them a lot, but my thought was this was a little more bitter because the malt profile was a lot weaker, or more pale at least. So I didn't know how this would hold up over a long day of drinking, so I ended up going with the Whatever You Feel Just Dance It. And I don't regret the decision, because that beer is also amazing, but drinking this now, I feel like I would have still gone with the other one, but the gap is way, way more narrow now. This is so good. So good. And honestly, I think it's probably the Vic Secret that brings more of that juicy character, but it really shows the versatility of Simcoe, because Simcoe can be very dank, very piney, but I'm not really getting too much of that out of this. So I think, one, I'm guessing there's more Vic Secret. And I am getting a little bit of that chalky character too, but I don't know if that's from the hops or something from the malt or yeast. But it always seems to be the case in Vic Secret beers, which is really weird. But I'm guessing there's more Vic Secret in this than Simcoe, but I don't know for sure. But either way, this is absolutely freaking delicious. So good. These guys killing it in this realm. But I don't want to keep saying in this realm because they're killing it in the wild ale category. They're making awesome lagers. They're also making great, massive imperial stouts now. I mean, they're really hitting on all cylinders. And when I moved down here and I heard about this brewery and I saw what they were about and what they were wanting to do, I was really, really hyped up, and they've lived up to the hype every single time. You know, they might have one thing that's better than the other, of course, like, you know, they're not going to make the best beer ever every single time they brew, but they're all very, very good, and in my opinion, they're definitely by far the best brewery in Charlotte, at least in Charlotte proper. High Branch is, I still think they're better than High Branch, but the gap with them is a lot more narrow than these guys are with the other breweries in Charlotte. So, but yeah, I know I've been gushing on this thing for it looks like 11 minutes now, so probably pretty obvious, but I would definitely buy this again. I think it was $18 for a 4-pack. Absolutely, without a doubt, I would buy this again. Delicious, delicious beer. This is probably, this might, I'm just thinking, this might get into my top 5 of their IPAs. I don't know. It's definitely top 10, but it might even get in the top 5. I don't know. I'd really have to think about it, but it's no Soul Sauce. That's the number 1. Soul Sauce, at least right now, is number 1. Soul Sauce is so good. They've only made it, they only did it, well, they made it twice. They only canned it one time. I would love to see them can that again. Yeah, this is up there. Very, very, very good. If this intrigues you, or you've heard about Resident Culture but haven't had any and see this video, want some, hit me up. I will be glad to send you out a box, you know, for trade or for cost or whatever you want, just to do it. I love, love, love their stuff, and I know a lot of other people would too. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.